in the shot.
All right.
Just
It is
direct.
Are we going? Are we live?
You're live.
Okay, we're
All
live.
right. Hey guys, welcome to the Piece by Piece Global Release Party. I'm here with Hope Flansburgh.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. We're excited to get started. A few housekeeping things before we get going. My name's April Dawn and I'm going to be your host today. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who are online, you have found us and you're in the right place.
I'm a woohoo person. So I'm a woo.
Keep up the woohoos.
I'm a woo.
All right. To make sure that you don't lose us during the live stream, please click follow and like. That way, if you do get disconnected, you can get back to us really easily. No problem at all. So glad you're here. Woohoo.
Woo!
All right. We're broadcasting live from Colorado, and we'd love to hear where you're from. So please post in the comments about your city or the country that you're watching from so that we can all be a part of this together.
Woo!
If you're online, don't worry. We have prizes for you too. Every time you share this live stream or tag someone who should be joining us, we'll put your name in for an extra chance to win prizes this afternoon. So keep the goodness coming. All right, throughout the day, we're going to be drawing names and announcing winners. If anyone is watching live, follow the link below to order your copy of the book, because here is the goal for the day. Our goal is to make Piece by Piece a #1 bestseller in its category on Amazon. So, thanks to your generosity, we can make that happen today. Make sure that you place your order now. We're going to start the trailer for Piece by Piece. We're so glad that you're joining us. So give us just 1 minute while we gather the masses to get started. Woo!
Woo! Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to bring everybody inside. So just hold tight. And Jocelyn, if you don't mind, if you're able to share the links,
Okay.
So that the viewers can see. We have share, if you don't mind, are you able to share the Amazon link?
I think so.
Okay, so if you can just do that and share that on the launch page, that would be great. So everybody's coming in, and you got it?
Everybody
Okay.
find a chair.
All right. Or stand, or...
I'll just stand here.
Come on in. Come on in. Go sit. There's couches. Come on in and sit down.
I'll sit down.
Way to go, Tyler.
You want to sit, Jocelyn? I'm okay. How are you? Thanks for your
All right. We're so glad you're all here. We're going to launch the book trailer. Woo! Woo! Ow!
Hope is a strange thing.
Hope is a
It
strange
gives me
thing.
something to desire, a dream to work towards and a goal to achieve. But when that dream is within arm's reach, and it seems everything I want may possibly become real, fear takes hold. Continuing to hope, it suddenly becomes my worst nightmare. Because if I get everything I want, there's a greater possibility I may lose it, just like I did before. My secrets left destruction behind, and hate became trapped inside my soul. But I survived the worst, and learned that courage is more important than fear. There has to be hope. Hope in knowing my soul is worth saving.
The version with the voiceover and the version with no voiceover, and both are very powerful in different ways. So if you have a chance, and you haven't seen it on the Piece by Piece launch team page, go and look and watch them both. I'd love to hear the feedback of of what people like about which one, because I'm going to be making more in the future for my future books. So as I move forward and make more, feedback's great. So take a look. So we're going to go back outside and sit and hang out, and we're going to continue this. So get drinks if you guys need more drinks.
We're going to be doing an interview with Hope Flansburgh right outside, so come join us.
Nice to see you too.
And that's respect.
Okay. You brought it. You're good.
Are you Emery?
I am Emery.
Jenny.
Nice to meet you.
Your kids are so cute.
Oh, thank you. They're sweeties. Oh, yes.
I'll hide your kombucha.
Oh, I'll drink.
I'll drink.
Woo!
I'll drink my kombucha.
Hey, wait, back here.
It's actually warm.
Yeah,
It actually got warmer than I expected.
beautiful fall day out here in Pine, Colorado. We're so excited to be with you today. Got Hope Flansburgh here, author of Piece by Piece, on sale today. Make sure that you take time to go order on Amazon so that we can get Hope's book up to the #1 seller that it deserves to be. So glad that you're here with us. All right, Miss Hope.
Yeah.
Would love to learn a little bit more about Piece by Piece and the process that you went through to make this possible.
And I'd love to share. I'd love to share this process and what I've done and the journey that I've gone through to get here. So yeah, I'd love to share.
Great. Well, let's start by, I'd love to hear what inspired you to write this story.
This particular story? It's a combination of things. I love to talk to people. I love to hear their stories. I love to hear what others are going through on their journeys and what they've overcome in their lives. This one in particular, because I did work in a career field where I was investigating crimes against children. Just absorbing a lot of the information I saw, a lot of the impact it had on victims as well as their families. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, all of that. And just kind of having been exposed to that for as many years as I was, it was heavy. It was heavy stuff. And so I needed to get it out of myself as well. So it was very therapeutic for me to write. I'm a fiction romance junkie anyways. So to be able to turn some real life topics into a fiction romance novel, and have my characters overcome trauma, overcome adversity, and persevere with determination and spirit is just kind of what I wanted to get out there.
So it sounds like a story of struggle, a story of healing, a story of self-discovery and community building for an individual who's come through so much.
You know, no one is immune to the hardships of life, grief, loss, painful, heartache, circumstances that we all go through. No one's immune to it. And I think it's a matter of understanding and realizing that as we all go through these things in our human experience, that we aren't alone. And there is a possibility to overcome these struggles, overcome these challenges. And I don't know if the take your own power back is really the word I want to use, but we'll use it. That's what we'll say for now. There's so much I could say about the messages behind the book. And not only this book, but the other books I write as well. There's a lot of messages, and I think what is going to be interesting to me is to see how my readers interpret the messages depending on where they're at in their own individual journeys, because there are a lot of messages. So I think perspective is going to be really, and the feedback I get from everybody's personal perspective is what I'm going to love. Because it's not going to resonate with one person the way it resonates with another. So that's what I'm excited to hear. But if I were to kind of summarize the message of the book, all of the messages in the book, it would boil down to through I honor and accept and really respect everybody's spiritual journey and how they resonate with that, how their higher power looks to them. For me personally, it's through a relationship with God, and I write that in my books. That's how I come through. But I think through relationship, a secure, strong relationship with your higher power ensures a really strong, secure relationship with yourself, a loving relationship with yourself, which then I think will allow people to wake up every day realizing that they can fall in love with life again. So I think that's
Beautiful.
kind of the message I want to get across.
It's a message of hope from hope. Again, we're looking at Piece by Piece. We're having a conversation with author Hope Flansburgh. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you order your book today on Amazon. All right, Hope. So for those of us who haven't had the privilege of starting to read through your book, give us an overview. Start from the beginning, kind of walk us through a summary of the story.
Oh my gosh.
Don't spoil it too much, though.
I
That's
know.
right, no spoilers.
No
spoilers.
Tonight.
Okay. So a quick summary, fiction romance novel with a suspenseful twist that really focuses on overcoming trauma, and by doing that with in a relationship with spirit and self-love. So my character, Jessie, had kind of a beaver cleaver childhood growing up, and this is what I think is really interesting and kind of why I did it this way. Is she had the beaver cleaver childhood. She had great siblings, great parents. It's 1996. She's 18 years old, and one of the reasons I wrote this way is because, like I said, no one is immune to the challenges of life. No one is immune to things that can happen and turn your life upside down any minute. You know, some people have very challenging childhoods, and they're struggling with things earlier in life, but then other people have the challenges as an adult. And so anything can happen to anyone at any time. And that's kind of the message I wanted to get across with that. So Jessie had this beaver cleaver life. She stumbled upon her sister's dark secret and became a victim herself. And decided, because of the complexities of the people involved in her life, she runs away and leaves home. So 13 years later, 2009, she comes home and has to face her demons, has to face all of the things she ran away from and has spent 13 years running from, with the choices that she's made in her life. She didn't make awful choices, but she did make choices that kind of navigated and steered her away from having to deal with kind of the core issues of the pain she was still holding on pretty close to her heart, that she was unable to let go of. So hence she comes home, but when she gets home, she realizes that she's not the only one holding some secrets. So there's other people in the dynamics of the complexities of the story that also have secrets of their own. So it all unravels little by little through the story. So
Resulting in growth for the character.
personal growth, spiritual growth for all of them, relationship, self-love, self-worth, and I should have said this earlier and I didn't, but another key point is knowing your worth. And I think that's a huge message that I want to get across too. So how do you find that, and how do you resolve the painful things that you go through so that you can still know your self-worth?
A beautiful message of hope and resilience. So excited that you were willing to put this out into the world so that we can share in that journey.
Well, and I think, like I said, including myself, I've gone through this journey myself. I'm not just writing this to hello, Eli. Sorry, I got distracted.
We've got so many kids and family members in and out. It's a good time. We're glad you're with us.
So a lot of what I write is emotionally from my own experience of having to evolve on my own healing journey, and my healing journey is not done. It continues, and I think being able to take my own experiences, which are very different than the experiences I write about, but my own experiences, and use them to connect with other people who are going and wanting to start their own personal healing journey, helping people and supporting people and realizing they're not alone in it is how I want to inspire, how I want to support, how I want to encourage, and ignite souls, really getting down to the soul level of who we are spiritually, in the heart, and being able to share that with the world.
Well, it's clear that you have passion and purpose for putting these words down on the page. When did you first consider yourself a writer?
6 months ago.
Is that when you started this book?
No.
Oh, so when you started this journey, you didn't consider yourself a writer?
I did not.
Talk to us about that.
So I wrote my first book, I started writing in about 2006. And actually, that's not true. I lied. I have to go back. I started writing my first book in 2000, right after I got divorced. And I, as a child, I had a huge imagination. I still have a huge imagination. And I just, on road trips, I would drive. I would make up these stories in my head to keep me entertained. Like I said, I'm a romance novel junkie. So they evolved to keep me entertained on my drive. And then in 2000, after my divorce, we had our first computer. And I started writing, but through the divorce, I think I got maybe 8 or 9 chapters in, and through my divorce, hence didn't take the computer with me, got a new computer, lost the story, but it was still up here. And so in 2006, talking with my husband, where is my husband, by the way? Is he here?
You're hiding inside.
Okay. Talking with my husband and telling him, I want to write. I took journalism in high school. I wrote for the school newspaper, avid reader, and I just said, I want to write. I have these stories in my head, and he said, go for it, and I started. So in 2010, I had written a novel called Never Look Back, and I entered it in the Women of Faith writing contest, and it became a top 50 finalist out of over 300 or 400 participants. And so at that point in time, I thought, oh, well, somebody liked it. Someone somewhere liked it if it got in the top 50. So I self-published it on Amazon. At that point in time, not having a lot of experience with marketing, all of that, I held a couple book signings in Cheyenne where I was living at the time, and didn't really market it, but kept writing. So I wrote 2 more books at that point and self-published another one, Angel Kisses, in 2012. We just moved here. My youngest daughters were freshmen in high school, and I started Piece by Piece. It wasn't called Piece by Piece at the time. It had no title. And I started it, but with our youngest being freshmen, I would write, put it away, write, put it away. I could never figure out the ending. And then their senior year, I put it away for good because I really wanted to focus on, and then I thought, I'm going to be an empty nester, so I can write all the time when they're gone. So, and that's what I did after they graduated and my husband started traveling to Africa. I had a lot of time to myself. And I thought, well, this is perfect. It wasn't perfect, but it was a
struggle. I'm going to write.
Exactly. It was a big struggle. So it's a perfect time to write again. So I picked up Piece by Piece. It was kind of a 7-year stretch of starting it. And I could not get to how I wanted it to end. In intertwining this, I didn't tell a lot of people that I wrote books. There were a few along my path that I told, but not a lot. And because I didn't really take myself seriously as a writer. So then, and I was sitting on my books. I researched literary agents galore. I sent letters to literary agents. I spent so much time and energy piecing that together, and I got a lot of very nice and very thoughtful rejection letters. But I was exhausted, and I just didn't know what else to do. But I knew I loved to write. My heart and my mind and my gut just kept saying, just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And then about a year ago, I made a big shift in the direction I wanted to go emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And along that path, I just was really manifesting what I wanted for myself. I had a job. I still have that job. And
glad you have that job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, the people who are here with me from that job. But I like to serve others, but in my job, I wasn't doing it in the capacity that I felt I was really impacting people the way that I wanted to, nor was I finding a lot of fulfillment in that. So I thought, well, how can I really impact people in the way that's also going to show them how much passion I have for this? And so along that path, I came across my workshop, which we'll talk in a little bit, and I decided to join. Not really knowing what I was doing, having complete support from my husband, who's like, if you want to do it, do it. If, I know it's been your dream for years, so, jump. And I jumped. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. So one of the first things long answer for your question, one of the first things they have you do is write an I am an author statement, and then you have to record it and post it on our private tribe. So in this group, we also have a private tribe, just like you guys have been part of my Piece by Piece tribe. So I can't tell you how many days I recorded, deleted, recorded, deleted, recorded, deleted, because I had to actually verbalize, I am an author. I had to actually say it out loud, which was truly one of the most, it was a big shift for me to do that. But I still kept it quiet. I still didn't tell a lot of people that I was a part of this workshop that was helping me do all these great things and move forward with my book. So in June, when I realized I needed people to read it to help me along my journey, and I was going to eventually, in a few months, have to have a tribe, I'm like, oh crap, I need to tell people this is what I'm doing. So in June is when I really started spreading the word and telling people, I'm an author. I'm an author.
That's great.
Yeah.
We're so grateful that you have chosen to share the vulnerable nature of writing, the journey that you've taken in order to get to this place. And on behalf of your readers, I want to say thank you for sharing that vulnerability. Thank you for putting yourself out there. We believe you're a writer. We're so glad that you put it together.
Guys, that I got it together.
All right. Well, just as a reminder, our goal today is to make Piece by Piece a #1 bestseller in its category on Amazon. So make sure that you order today to help us meet that goal. We're so glad that you've joined us. We are going to do a door prize. We've got door prizes throughout the day. Those online, you're eligible for door prizes too. Make sure that you are liking, following, and sharing this live stream in order to get your name in the registration. Folks who are here with us, your name is already in the drawing. So we are going to do a quick little door prize and then jump back to our interview.
Where's Sophia?
Probably on a hike.
Is she on the cat?
Probably.
How do people get in the door prize online? By sharing and posting?
That's right.
And sharing, posting, like.
All you have to do is share, post, and like. Your name's in the drawing.
I'm going to separate these, but I don't want to look. Okay, so these are for people on lives.
There you go. Now go.
Okay, Julie. Julie Howard is our winner. And Julie, so I got to say how I know Julie. So Julie. Okay. So Julie and I have been friends since we were little. And she lives in Kansas, I believe. Are you in Kansas, Julie?
That's what she commented on.
Yes, Kansas. Yeah. So our parents were friends for years, and so every now and then, every like 2 or 3 years, we still get together. So Julie, thank you for tuning in. I have a gift for you, and I will mail it to you next week. So thank you.
Tissue paper for
Tissue
Julie's
paper.
gift.
You get tissue paper too. So.
Thanks for tuning in, Julie. We're here with Hope Flansburgh, author of Piece by Piece, chatting about her book. So, Hope, when you were sharing about the journey of becoming an author, you talked about the Author Academy Elite,
Yes.
which is the program that you registered with in order to kind of get the driver you needed for getting
Yeah.
the process going. Will you talk to us a little bit about the Author Academy Elite?
Yeah, I would love to, because it's been such a huge, impactful presence in my life. Like I had said, I'd self-published through Amazon, so I'd had that experience. And then I also reached out to literary agents. So it is incredibly challenging to break into the literary world with a publishing company if you don't have an agent. And one of the things that I found out along my path of researching is that with a lot of agents, it's rare for them to take a gamble on you unless you're already published. And so it's kind of this cycle of, you need an agent to represent you so you can get published, but yet they may not represent you until you are published. So what do you do? So I had both experiences. I came across a webinar for Author Academy Elite, and I thought, okay. And what they consider themselves is a collaborative publishing company. So as an author, they take you through 18 months of coaching calls. You have a bunch of coaches that help you with the writing process, help you with the editing process, help you just develop your book. A lot of the authors on there are professionals who are looking to write self-help books, autobiographies, memoirs. There are fiction novels, a ton of children's books on there. And so they connect you with this group of authors, which has been inspiring. I cannot tell you how wonderful it's been to have these authors with me along the journey, and we've been watching each other up until this point. And a lot of people are getting their books published right now because we have a conference coming up. So everyone's like pushing to get theirs published. So we're all kind of in the same spot. So we've been with each other through this whole journey. I've been watching authors, have an idea. I was a little different because my book was already 3/4 of the way done. But we have authors that come in. I know I want to write a book. I have a story to tell. I want to share my story. I'm just not quite sure where to get started or how to get started. So these coaches just walk beside you the entire way. It is brilliant. It truly is. And so what they do then is they help you write your book. They help you publish your book. They help you market your book, and they help you turn your book into a business. So at the time, it didn't dawn on me because I had already started my Hope for Health business. And then I was writing books, and they really opened up my eyes with the big picture of how I can combine the two into a business. So that has been just amazing to have these people and their direction and their perceptions and their intuitive knowledge with all of this stuff help you expand this into really what it can be. So as the author, I own all the rights to my book. So they are my publishing company, but I own all the rights to my books. And they help you channel them globally through, I can't even remember the number. I'm horrible with numbers. I'm not a number girl. But they help you distribute them worldwide into like 30,000 different bookstores and channels. So.
Well, I'm inspired. I'm sure other aspiring writers are also inspired. How can they get more information about this program?
Contact me, and I can share the webinar. I can share some links of how you can learn more about Author Academy Elite. For me, and everybody's different with what they need for support. For myself, having that group of individuals, I was a Mary Kay consultant in my 20s, and one of the things that I loved about that business was the people that surrounded you, supported you, empowered you, just were encouraging you the entire way. And I hadn't realized for the last 16 years, how much I missed having that in my life. So getting it again with this group of people that you can talk about all of your dreams and your goals, and they're they're just, you get those negative, we're human. We all get those negative mindsets, and they're right along with you to help you shift them. and take you in the direction you need to be so you can just keep empowering yourself. It's been priceless. I've loved it.
Awesome. So if you want more information about the process that Hope has gone through in order to get to this place of success, reach out to Hope. She would love to share her journey with you and to get you the resources that you need in order to make that lunge into publishing, which can be scary and vulnerable and exciting.
Yes,
Yeah?
a lot of mixed emotions. But, you know, our main coach, Carrie Oberrunner, I don't even know if I said his last name right, but one of the things he says is we all have a story. We all have a story inside of us. And a lot of people want to hear your story because they can relate to it. And they might be able to find some healing from it, or, you know, there might be something in your story that may impact somebody's world, somebody's life. So is it selfish to share your story that may impact other people, or is it selfish to keep it to yourself? So everybody has a story.
Well, we're going to learn a little bit more about Hope's story as we learn more about the Hope for Health Wellness workshops and retreat. So I'm going to invite Sarah Peterson over to share a little bit about Hope for Health, and then we're going to have some other folks also coming over to share their testimonies about participating.
Am I speaking off the cuff, or do you have questions for me? Your questions?
Would you like some questions?
Can I ask some questions?
Fly by the seat of your pants.
I know, I'm great at that, actually. I'll just think about later all the things I wish I would have said. And then I'll post them in the comments.
That we all do. We all do that.
So I just want to do a little bit of bragging about Hope first. For a couple of purposes. One is so you really understand what you're signing up for when you sign up for one of her retreats, but also because what we've learned, and most recently in a weekend retreat in September, is that depending on maybe the family we grew up in, or the generation, or our gender or sex, we may have a hard time promoting ourselves. So I'm going to promote Hope a little bit, but also talk about how nice it is, how full circle it is, that we're here 6 or 7 years after we met. Don't quote me on that, but we actually met at a book club. Here's to Book Club Warriors in Conifer, Colorado, that introduced us, and here we are promoting Hope's book. It's really exciting, and I hope they read it this year. But Hope, some of the things that you guys should know and I adore about Hope is that she has had this journey. So she is not a hypocrite healer. And I love that. That's a great. She's not, although maybe if she ever tells you her story, maybe 20 years ago she was, but she's not telling you to do yoga and then running around the back and slamming some beers and having some cigarettes, right?
20 years ago I was.
She's drinking her kombucha, she eats well, and she really wants to share with everybody what it can be like to go through a healing journey, whether you're starting out. Anyone who's starting can come to her workshops. You can be a guru, come to her workshops or her weekends, but she really feels like sharing all the information that she's received over the years. And so, again, those two really great things about her is that she's going through it, she does the work. She's a person that if an issue comes up, she handles it, she deals with it, she works through it. And she really wants people to be able to do that for themselves so that they're not hiding and running, sort of like her character in her book for 13 years, and to know that there's ways through things and that everybody has a different timeline and everyone has a different way of working through it. Another thing that I love about Hope is her self-discipline. I wish I had an ounce of her self-discipline, which means, again, this book journey, even though she had a coach and a program, when she said, I'm going to publish a book by fall of next year, here we are. And she would say, I'm going to have this chapter, I'm going to have this done, I'm going to do this. And on her timeline, she stayed with it. And she does that with her healing, with her yoga, with her self-care, and it's really something admirable. The reason that I tell you these things is that's the foundation. If you sign up for a Hope for Health retreat or a workshop, that's the energy you're coming into. You're signing up for something that Hope created and put together for a group of people with that energy, with that drive. And then we can add on, I'm going to do a piece by piece. Foundations like, hopefully you'll get a glimpse of her beautiful home where she holds her retreats, and we're sitting outside right now on our patio. and the land and the view and everything that you get just physically being here present. And then Hope puts together, I don't know how she does it, but agendas every single time that flow together with yoga, with delicious food. Do we have Jenny here?
Yes.
You could pan if you want or not to Jenny, our chef and yoga instructor.
Extraordinaire.
Yes.
Chef extraordinaire.
Yeah.
That's an experience in itself, you guys. That's amazing.
It's 5-star. So I'll go back again to something that Hope gives to all of her people, including her presenters and her collaborators, which is just she treats everyone with quality and 5-star. And so her retreats are exceptional. Everyone gets great care, great food, great rest, and then she puts again together these workshops. So sometimes yoga retreats are yoga and rest, which are and eating, which is wonderful. And Hope puts together sort of a healing university, bringing in different speakers with different modalities to present to people. Again, maybe to push people forward in their journey or just in order to learn something new and decide maybe this is a way that I want to heal. And so that's a long intro. Oh, I'm one of the presenters. You should come see me.
Sarah just said everything
Yeah.
that's on my
Oh, I
list.
already said something from one of our participants from May.
Go ahead and introduce the ladies with some testimonies, Miss Sarah.
Let's do it. You want to come take my seat?
Sure. Come on up. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Miss Sarah.
Hope, would you like to?
Yes, so
introduce
this
us?
is Lynette, and I met through work. She's our amazing physical therapist up here in Park County who works with our kids birth through 3 in our early intervention program. And Lynette and I became co-workers, but then I want to say, I remember we went to see a family out in Guffey, I want to say, and on the way back, our conversation that we had, and we were like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common. Oh my gosh, we could talk for 5 hours. No, probably like 5 days. So we just really connected, and we have a lot in common. And definitely, I remember. So I gotta say this. Sorry, real quick. So I'm a big positive affirmation person. So I have my list of positive affirmations that I've been reading for 20 years now. At the time, 20 years ago when I started, I didn't have a clue what any of them meant. I just knew my mental health therapist at the time said, read these. And on there was a little thing that said, I have many wonderful friends traveling the spiritual journey with me. And I've been saying that, positive affirmations, life happens, it ebbs and flows, our self-care comes and goes because we deal with different things at different times in our life. And in the last, I want to say, moving here, that has been one of the positive affirmations in my head a lot. I have many wonderful friends traveling the spiritual journey with me. And it has been amazing to me, the women who have come into my life, that we've just had this soulful connection that I'm so grateful for, and Lynette is one of them. So
Take it away,
Oh,
Lynette.
goodness. So I attended my first Hope for Health Wellness workshop in May of this year. I've been on my new phase of wellness and healing for just over a year, and my thoughts were, what am I doing attending a yoga workshop? I have zero yoga experience. So my resolution was, I'm here to support my friend. And of course, so much more. So I was nervous about being surrounded by a group of women that were a lot farther along in their journey and experiences and knowledge, but I took the step and I showed up. So walking in to this beautiful arena here, there is a sense of calm and peace and an instant feel of comfort. So we all are getting settled in, and then we're just meeting and connecting, and people from various different backgrounds, and no one was a stranger. So the words that I used to describe this, it was easy, it was light, it was fun, and there was no pressure, which was really good for me. So then, presenters, and I really think that Hope picked out the presenters specifically for me and my needs. They were so excellent at sharing and leading and teaching and guiding and inspiring and encouraging, and it was exactly what I needed. And then there's the food. So incredibly plentiful, healthy, nutritious, delicious, perfect. And 5-star definitely describes our food. So what did I take away from the amazing weekend? Not only did it give me permission to be okay with where I am, but it gave me direction on where to go next. A launching spot, thank you, Sarah, and it helped me be ready to tackle kind of some of the hard stuff that was upcoming. And I'm tackling it not in fear, but with excitement. It gave me connection. So Hope's workshops are about empowering women, inspiring women, strengthening women, and women giving hope. I'd like to add, it gives permission to become amazing. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Sarah, I'll give you a hug later.
Thank you, Lynette. I want to hear more inspiring stories from women. So I would love to call Janet up. Is Janet around? Yes. Yay. Janet. Introduce us to Janet.
So Janet, Sarah, I love collaboration. I love connection, and this is a huge story in this community of what we do. But Sarah and I met, and Sarah introduced me to Janet at, I think it was one of our mental health at the Mountain Resource Center meetings. And so Janet has been a huge healer in my life in a variety of areas. I introduced my girls to her probably 5 years ago. With some of the fun stuff that she does. And so Janet was a speaker at our retreat, our May retreat in 2018. Is that when it was?
I think that's right.
May 2018, yeah. And Janet has a life coaching business, which we're going to share because she's going to be our presenter at our... we haven't decided this yet, but one of our 2020 retreats, maybe 2 of them, she's going to be sharing all of her great wisdom, knowledge, intuition, and just support to help all of the women who are here evolve onto their next step on their journey. So Janet and I have been doing a lot of Zoom lives and just having these conversations that again could go on forever because our vision and our mission align so perfectly. We aren't fitting square pegs into round holes. We're taking it, and what she's doing with her business and what I'm doing, the 2 of us together, I see amazing things happening. So I'll let you talk.
Yeah.
So this is Janet Redford.
Thank you. So I want to do the same thing as Sarah did, is I want to talk a little bit about hope, that if you're thinking about coming, well, I should say, highly follow your gut, that if you feel called to come to her workshops or her retreat, that you listen to that call because there's a purpose in why you're feeling that. And hope creates a very sacred space. And in that sacred space, what I've been able to witness as a presenter is just the connections that the women are making together. They might be coming here individually to do some work, but really collectively, there's a different impact that's going on energetically. And so I really hold hope in high esteem and high love. So I have
it's mutual.
So I have an analogy, because I'm the analogy person. And also just wanted to let you know on Facebook Live, if you can't tell, there's been a butterfly flying around the entire space. And, butterfly is about transformation. And so just know that this is just such a sacred space here. I wanted to give an analogy of kind of what Hope and I do, is that Hope's book, Piece by Piece, it really is about, we have things in life that might shatter us or turn our world upside down, and it's those pieces that we learn to pick up. And I feel like that's what Hope's healing work is about, is that you're picking up those pieces. And I find it amazing how our lives mirror so much of our experiences. Even when you mentioned the Mary Kay, I was like, really?
Really?
Yes. So I was like, okay. We're probably twin sisters somehow. But anyway.
Twin souls.
Yes. So I wanted to share that piece because here's her book called Piece by Piece. And one of the things that means a lot to me is it's a Japanese art called kintsugi. If you want to look it up, it's spelled Kintsuji. And what that means is, we come in this life thinking it's going to be perfect, like you said, the beaver cleaver, and then life happens. And we push so hard and we resist so hard because we're trying to stay perfect. And what would it be like if instead we shared our brokenness? And if we talked about that brokenness? And so the whole art, the Japanese art of kintsugi, is that, let's say you have this beautiful piece of pottery, but for whatever reason, it falls, which is what we do in life. We trip, stumble, and fall. But if we gather those pieces, will we have all the pieces fit together? No, because things in our life take pieces out of us that we no longer can find because of what's happened. So the art of kintsugi is they take this whole blend of, and I don't know that whole scientific piece, but they're basically putting the piece back together. And with it, there's also gold put into it. So that you put this beautiful piece of pottery or china or whatever it is, and you put it back together, and it's called kintsugi. Because the whole belief is that we are more beautiful for having been broken, instead of trying to stay perfect. Because if we just try to stay perfect, that means we have to kind of be more like in that museum of life where we just stand still and we don't move. And that's not living. We're going to trip, stumble, and fall. We're going to get shattered at times for some of us. And that's part of my life. We had a family tragedy and trauma that shattered us. And my whole journey has been, the kintsugi way. How do you pick up the pieces, and how do you see it as being more beautiful for having been broken?
Thank you for sharing that.
That's
I
the
love
journey.
that.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for this.
And Janet has so much great. There's not even any words to express the wisdom and heart and soulful inspiration she has to share. And I'm so excited to have her as a speaker in 2020 and us working together. So stay tuned for the announcement of when we're going to have her and the dates. So
Thank you, Janet. All right, we have one more beautiful story to hear from Angela. Angela was a Hope for Health retreat member, and she's here to share her story about participating in these retreats. Hope, tell us a little bit about Angela.
So Ange and I met on a yoga hike.
Yes, we did.
Probably over a year ago.
Over a year
Yeah,
ago.
over a year ago.
Sadly, yeah.
And we got to talking and we just
Sorry,
talked and
just-
talked. I know, it is great, isn't it? And talked and got to know each other. And so we've hiked, I would say we're hiking buddies, and we get together and hike, and we've done girls' nights together a few times and gotten to be friends and still learning about each other, but enjoy the time that we have together. So, and she was a participant, and so I asked her if she would be interested in sharing kind of her experience.
Hands, like, yeah, I want to learn more. So we exchanged information, obviously, became friends. She invited me to her last May retreat, which I'm grateful that I attended. But it's Hope's intentions that as soon as you walk in the door, you know that all her intentions were not a week before. They were not a month before. They have been in vision for months, for years. So I walked in, I felt the intention, the heart opening, and just all the women around. I mean, Hope intended for her presenters, for her speakers, for her chef. If I could have Jen at my house once a week.
We all want a Jen.
I know, we all want her. But it's Hope's intentions for the retreat, not to build women, but to support. And it's her presenters that, when they were speaking, I'm like, oh, I've been on that level decades ago, but you're bringing that back up, so I want to learn more. Or it's the other speaker who's like, this is my expertise, this is what I love and breathe daily. Like, I've never considered that, so I want more. I want more of that. And, the other speaker, the presenter who, I'm on that path of journey, but it's her speaking that I'm engaged with. So it's the intention of it all. It's your intention that you bring into this whole fold, that it brings women together, it supports women, and it's a welcoming theme. I mean, we all put our families, our friends, our hobbies, our work aside for a weekend.
Yeah.
No Wi-Fi, and it's glorious.
Well, I appreciate that. We loved having you here. One of the things that I love about holding my workshops is the women that come and show up. And they do. They show up. They're ready to experience something that a lot of them aren't quite sure what they're going to experience, to be honest with you. But they show up and they're open to it. And I sit back and I watch the dynamics between the women who attend these workshops and retreats and the energy and what kind of morphs out of that is like the weekend ends and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so full just from watching what happens with participants like Ange who come and participate and bring your strengths and your gifts and your energy and share it with everybody else as well. That is so powerful to me. And I enjoy that piece of it. So thank you for being a participant. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
All right, again, we're here with Hope Flansburgh talking about her book, Piece by Piece, and the journey that led to Piece by Piece. Our goal today is to make Piece by Piece the #1 bestseller in its category on Amazon. So you can help us reach that goal today by ordering your book. Do it now. We're so glad to be here with Hope Flansburgh. We're going to do another door prize. Sarah, come on down.
Vanna.
All right. Okay, is this live? So we'll do the live. After the presentation of live, we'll do the people who are present door prizes. Okay, so they're stuck together. Okay, we have Kristen Cox Day. And Kristen, I have a gift certificate for you for 25% off a 2020 retreat.
Yeah. All right.
I will mail this to you. We'll connect. I know how to connect with you, so I will get your address and I will mail this to you.
Congratulations. All right, we have a few more questions for Hope as we talk about her book, Piece by Piece, out here in beautiful Pine, Colorado. Hope, thank you so much for making this possible and sharing your time with us.
No, thank you. And we're going to give kudos to April Dawn before this is over, so we're going to talk about you too. Oh, Shakti.
But back to Hope.
All right. Hope would rather talk about other people.
But we love Hope.
So Hope, we've talked about your business, Hope for Health Wellness. Please look up that information online. It's transformational workshops that inspired the book Piece by Piece. So please take a look at that. All right. Talk to us about what do you hope that your readers are walking away with when they read this book?
So I kind of tapped into that a little bit earlier when we talked about the messages. I think every message throughout the oh gosh!
Let there be light.
Every message throughout the book is going to be individual for every reader. My hope is mostly that there's a shift for the readers along their own journey, wherever they're at on their journey, that they'll be, through the reading, through the characters, there'll be relatable characters that will help inspire them to want to make a shift in their own process.
Where can we buy your book?
Okay, well, you can buy my book on Amazon right now, and I believe if you go to the Piece by Piece launch page, which I think all of you guys are on who are watching it live, people present will be posting it. We'll be posting it again, and I'll be posting it over the next week. So there's the Amazon link. And then you can also go to Barnes & Noble. It is available on Barnes & Noble. And then truly you can go to any bookstore and ask them to order it. And they can find it and they can order it. I'm hoping in the next month that I'm going to be putting together a book tour in 2020, January, February. And so I will have books on hand. At those, I'll announce the locations and the dates for that. So yeah, I will post the links of where you guys can find it. And like I said, any local bookstore, you can go in and ask them to order it. They'll order it for you.
We've been chatting with Hope Flansburgh, learning about her book, Piece by Piece. Hope is strong and courageous and so forward-thinking in her ability to empower others along their journey. And we're so grateful to be with her. We're so inspired by her words. And we encourage you to order your book today on Amazon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope, we would love for you to share some final words. Give us a thank you and a shout out.
Okay.
Let's toast your book.
So I like to write. I'm a much better writer than I am a speaker. That's why I write. I put my heart out to the world through writing. I am working on the speaking thing, and I am getting better at it. That's my positive affirmation. That's my goal for the year. I am getting better at it. So, first off, I have so many people I want to thank. I won't go through all of them. You can read my acknowledgements in the book. I think the most important ones are my parents. The book is dedicated to my parents, Joanna Milton Strang. They're right over there.
Yay!
So, they gave me the most amazing childhood. I could not, one, I don't take it for granted, ever. Two, I cannot be more inspired by two of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. And, sorry. And three, they gave me the security in a relationship with God and knowing who I am as a person. And they've always supported and encouraged that no matter what I've wanted to do. So, thank you guys. Second is my husband. I don't know where he's at. He's just here somewhere.
He's hosting.
He's socializing with my son-in-law, I think. Imagine that. So my husband, who's inside, you know, we've been so blessed and lucky to find each other. You want to talk about two souls that really needed to be together. We've been through incredibly hard things in our relationship. We've overcome a lot of really hard things and found, because I am a romance junkie and I do write romance novels, I like to write about the realities of that romance, and I do believe in happily ever after, but it does take a lot of really hard work to have happily ever after. And I have to give my husband so much credit and thanks because he is on every step of this. Oh,
We had a baby fall with a cupcake. It's okay.
Yes, baby.
I know.
It's okay. It's safe. It's okay. See, real life happens, right?
Life happens.
That's real life.
Catch it live. He has been a true inspiration of somebody who's willing to walk this journey with me despite what obstacles we have to face, what hard things we come to, what challenges we have. And, you know, neither of us are perfect and we're never going to be perfect, but every day we keep practicing together to make our relationship the happily ever after that we both want. So I give him a lot of credit. And then my last one, because the other ones you guys can read in the book, my 4 daughters. I have Emery, who's videotaping, Jocelyn, who's taking names down, Taylor, who's been our photographer, and Morgan, who's been our wonderful bartender. Thank you guys. Wow. I did not anticipate having daughters in my life. I thought for sure I was going to have all boys and have sports and activities and roughhousing and all of that stuff. And I'm a true believer that God gives you in your life what you need to learn and grow and become a more soulful person. And God gave me these 4 girls, and they are my motivation to learn about the heart of women, understand the heart of women, connect with the heart of women, because as women, you know, things can be tough, things can be challenging, things can be hard, but the more we understand each other and connect and can embrace each other on our journeys, the stronger we're going to be and the more difference and impact we're going to make on the world. So you 4 girls keep inspiring me every day to do what I do and reach others. So thank you. You don't have any idea the difference you've made in my life. And then, sorry, I have one more. My team of people, my team that has been either participated in Hope for Health Wellness Retreats, has presented, has been an instructor, has cooked. Teresa Hansen, you're not here. I don't know if you're watching live or not, but you are one of our yoga instructors that has been such a huge team member in my wellness retreats and workshops. Jenny Nelson Fagan is our chef and yoga instructor. Who, also is gonna keep going with me. She says, I'm going with you. Sarah Peterson, who you've met, Janet, and we've had other presenters, and Beth Campbell, she is coming back from a conference, but she's been one of our great presenters as well. So thank you guys. You have helped support me on my dream of making this business take off and do what it's going to do. So I'm really excited about that. And then April Dawn, thank you so much for being my host today.
Oh, glad to be here.
Haven't you all been glad to be here? So good to celebrate.
Having you here and as my host, and everything that you share and our friendship and our heart-to-heart conversations and connection is, I want to say priceless, but I keep saying priceless. I need new words. So
She used all her words in this book. You gotta go check it out. Piece by piece. Buy it today on Amazon.
perfect.
Let's lift our glasses to Hope Flansburgh and her book Piece by Piece, as well as all the goodness she brings to the world.
And we do, the 2 girls are going to be pouring champagne here, and so go ahead and grab your glass of champagne if you want one.
We have one more door prize.
Oh, we have, yes, one more door prize. And then we'll be having a book signing up here, and then music. Taylor's going to be playing her guitar and singing and mingle and socialize and have a good time.
Our last online, those of you who shared, commented, thank you on Facebook Live. Gonna win something amazing.
Okay. All right, so we have Debbie Young.
Woo!
So Debbie.
That's my mama.
Oh, she gets a gift certificate. 50% off 2020 retreat. So yes, so Debbie, go make sure you get that. I'll give it to April Dawn right now.
There's gonna be lots of jealous people.
So you'll know that she has
Colorado, Mom.
Thank you guys for tuning in live. I appreciate it. If you have, are there any online questions? No? Okay. Good. Okay. So thank you guys for participating. You know where to find us. What?
They have lots of love for you.
Oh, thank you guys for all your love. I'm sending it right back to you. If you have questions about the website for Hope for Health, you'll find the books on there. You'll find all the information about retreats and workshops. It's hopeforhealth.me. And then I'll be posting the links to where you can order the book. And then you can also go to the Facebook Hope for Health page for more information. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.